song should be like quicker. Do you think it's a bit too long of a theme song?
Do you want to cut it down?
Or like we should add more stuff to it.
Yeah.
Like sound effects of people like screaming like "Help me!" and like
they're gonna be able to hear this.
quotes from horror movies. Oh, we'll delete this. Cut off this portion. Should we keep this in? Just gonna go like we should fucking delete this. No. You've been censoring my swear words, right?
No.
Damn. Alright, here we go.
Maybe that's what we should do with these intros. Just talk over it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Horror Herald. It's me, Leo, and next to me is
Louis.
And
As it says on the title.
Oh yeah. And today's a special one. Today is our we got a classic kind of week where, you know, we watch a new movie, then we watch a classic movie, then a new movie, and then we're back to doing a classic movie. And the classic movie we have chosen today is Dawn of the Dead, the 1978 original. But before we get to that, I think it's news time.
I'm excited.
Yeah, news time.
News time is always just time for me to get news.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you already know the news, which is annoying, but that's okay. So one of the bigger news things, and one that I'm mostly really excited about, is that Halloween Ends has officially wrapped production. It's done. They finished filming. I think not ages ago, but like a week prior to I think it wrapped yesterday. I'm pretty sure it said like October 11th or 10th or 11th. 11th is today, so 10th. And no, probably not for us when we're recording it. Yeah. When you're listening, it's not that time. But I know Jamie Lee Curtis finished like a week I think before everyone else is finishing, and
she probably died.
And oh well, the character or Jamie Lee Curtis? No, of course not. But Allison had a bit more stuff to shoot.
Because she survives.
Maybe. I mean, probably it's a new character. I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, it wrapped production, and that was according to producer Ryan Turek. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. Ryan, I know you're listening. And what he said, and I'll just quote him, he said, "Last night of shooting, wrap on our Halloween trilogy, incredible journey, amazing cast, amazing crew. While we obviously have post-production ahead of us, it's still an emotional night." So... yeah, end of it. End of the trilogy. End of the trilogy.
I don't know how to feel about them just yet. I'll wait till it ends.
I mean, 2018 I loved, and then Kills was a bit of a disappointment. And this one I don't know how to feel about this one, because what I'm hearing is just so strange. Like I'm hearing like two different quotes about like how, you know, David Gordon Green is saying it's kind of like a coming of age film. And I know he probably doesn't mean it like in the, you know, the Stand By Me sense, but I think he means like, you know, maybe characters are coming into their own, and I understand that, and that's cool. But he also said stuff about like how it's like Christine, which doesn't make sense.
I'll accept a different Halloween movie than all the other shit ones.
Oh, come on. I mean, there's some bad ones, but they're not. Out of all the slasher franchises out there, I've been watching some Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, and I'm just like, ugh.
That's fair.
But no, yeah, and I mean, I'm a big Halloween fanatic, so I'm kind of sad that's ending. Well, I'm not sad that it's ending. I don't know. Halloween Kills just really made me feel a bit salty, but that's okay. But anyway, that's ended, and can't wait to see it. I'm hesitant. I'm really hesitant when we go to.
Very hesitant.
But look, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna fix the mess of Halloween Kills, but who cares? Anyway, that's coming. It's set to release on October 17 this year, so that's coming out. Another kind of interesting one, and we're going to talk about this one, is a new NFT horror film is set to be released.
Oh my god!
And it's called Crypto Horrors.
Oh.
And of course, they had to make it relevant, so they're now doing an NFT film. And so the film follows a group of crypto-savvy millennials trying to escape their 9-to-5s by flipping NFTs as a side hustle. After buying into a supposedly cursed NFT collection, they begin experiencing mysterious occurrences and will now have to fight for their lives.
Oh my god.
Now, I don't know much about NFTs.
This sounds like an SNL sketch.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's one of the biggest things at the moment.
I know, but oh my god.
It's not done by any big studio, I think. And I think the biggest star, her name is Najira Townsend. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. And I think she's done some other horror movies. I'm not sure exactly. But yeah. So anyone who's
into NFTs,
NFTs,
there's a movie for you.
There's
Or I
that.
guess is it like bad NFTs because they're evil?
I don't know. I just
Are they
know.
like ghost NFTs or are they just like?
I don't know. It's
Leo, why don't you know
cursed
more?
NFT collection, and I'm guessing maybe it's sentient NFTs or maybe it's messing with the internet and stuff like that. Like I don't know.
Okay.
But that's that. Another.
I wish I never knew about that.
On our last and for our news for today is that a Norwegian filmmaker, Tommy Wirkola, sorry I'm not pronouncing that right, they're known for like the Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters movie and also like all the Dead Snow franchise, which I think
I've never
I
seen.
think was like a zombie
I don't know this
winter.
guy.
Anyway, is directing a new horror movie called Violent Night, which is a
Silent Night, but Violent Night.
Violent
Let
Night.
me guess.
which is a holiday horror tale starring David Harbour
Oh,
from
shit.
Stranger Things and set to be released on the 2nd of December this year. The film is set to follow a team of elite mercenaries as they break into a wealthy family compound on Christmas Eve, taking everyone inside hostage, but the team isn't prepared for a surprise combatant, Santa Claus, which is played by David Harbour, is on the grounds and is about to show why this Nick is no saint.
Is that really what it says?
Yeah.
That's
and
great.
I'm
very
pumped
excited
for that.
for this.
If David
very
Harbour is
ex-
playing like
I'm
a
very excited for this.
gory, crazy Santa who's going to kill a bunch of mercenaries, I'm down. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I like when they make children's entertainment into violent mercenaries. Violent killers. It's always fun.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
I'm down for it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I think I think I've seen another kind of movie that's kind
Very
of similar, where it's like I think it was like a hitman movie where like there's a bunch of assassins trying to kill Santa.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know what it's called, but like a kid wishes that this mercenary to kill Santa. Or
Yeah,
something
something like
he didn't
that.
Get a good gift.
Yeah, but on the same time, David Harbour as Santa will be epic. So
Yeah, I want to see
I'm
that.
all down for that. Anyway, that is the news of the week. Let's just call it the week.
News of the week.
We release like an episode every
Fortnight.
Fortnight, do we?
Yeah, on iTunes it says fortnightly.
Damn. All right. Cool.
I don't know why.
Cool. I thought it was like a weekly thing.
It is, but it
Okay.
says fortnightly.
Well, this revamped. We're doing something different. We're going at it. We're giving something every week. But yeah. So that is the news. We did quickly skip a moment. We're meant to kind of talk about ourselves. So how are you?
Oh shit, I'm alright.
I'm
Bit
all right.
tired.
I'm all right as well. Pretty tired as well. Cool.
Cool.
All right. That's
Anyway.
it. That's that. All
Um,
right. Now let's get to the movie. Now, before we start, I'm going to talk a little bit about the movie. It's Dawn of the Dead, iconic zombie movie made in 1978. The director is George A. Romero. The music is done by The Goblins and Dario Argento.
hell yeah, it is.
They're great. I love the Suspiria soundtrack, and Louis loves Suspiria. He's
Suspiria.
wearing a Suspiria shirt right now.
I am actually.
He is.
I am.
Look at him supporting. I'm wearing a Shaun of the Dead t-shirt right now.
I wore this Suspiria shirt without knowing during watching the movie that it was by
Yeah.
Goblin and Dario Argento.
There you go. We got somewhat similar shirts. So anyway, yeah, it is directed by George A. Romero, and it's starring Keen Foray, who plays Peter, who is probably my favorite character of the film. We have Galen Ross as Francine, Scott Ranger, I think that's how you say it, starring as Roger, David Emerge as Stephen, and Tom Savini's in it as
As biker, right?
as like a motorcycle crazy dude. I don't know.
it says motorcyclist or something.
Yeah, but yeah, that's that. It's I'll give you the quick synopsis, and then we'll get to our review. So the synopsis goes as this: as hordes of zombies swarm over the U.S., the terrified populace tries everything in their power to escape the attack of the undead, but neither cities nor the countryside prove safe. In Pennsylvania, radio station employee Stephen and his girlfriend Francine escape in the station helicopter, accompanied by two renegade SWAT members, Roger and Pete. The group retreats to the haven of an enclosed shopping center to make what could be humanity's last stand. Anyway, that's that. That's Dawn of the Dead.
Now, you've seen Night of the Living Dead?
I've
The first one?
I've seen the original trilogy, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. And yeah, I've seen Night of the Living Dead. I can't exactly remember too much because it was a little bit ages ago when I seen it, but I'm pretty sure it kind of ends with. Actually, I don't want to spoil.
Yeah, don't.
I just
Yeah.
realized.
It ends with.
I just realized Louis hasn't seen it. But anyway,
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them except for this one, which I just watched.
yeah. But Dawn of the Dead. This one's in the midst of the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, this one is straight into the action. It's got pretty much like no setup. It's just into it, and I like it.
Yeah, and the first scene's really great. We won't talk scene by scene, but yeah, the opening really shows the full on craziness of the zombie, apocalypse. And it's weird to watch it and go like, oh, this was like one of the first like proper zombie concept movies. Like I know there's been other zombie movies before, but this one's like, what if it was like on a big national scale and there's all this crazy kind of ethics being talked about, like they just have this disease or they're people too or whatever, and it's just crazy to see all these people just in the newsroom, for example, in the opening scene, just going crazy and
trying to stay on the air.
And then there was that really ballistic scene in that kind of like hotel thing full of people, not hotel, but like, there's apartments full of those different people. Anyway, I won't talk too much about it, about the scenes, but because I got to say, this is probably going to be a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen it, but before we get into the spoilers, we just say our overall thoughts. So you can at least listen to that bit. What did you think?
Loved it.
Loved
it. Every second of it. I think we watched the extended cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Loved every second of it.
Yeah.
This is probably one of my favorite horror movies now. Loved every second of it.
Yeah, I love the movie as well. I remember when I first watched it, I put it on, and I won't say how I felt about 9 Living Dead. I didn't hate 9 Living Dead, but I remember watching this going like, wow, this is actually just a great horror film, even for the time. Like, there's times when, you watch old horror movies and you're like, it's great for the time. Yeah, it's great
for the time, but then you watch it and you're like,
you don't necessarily actually love it, but you have to respect it because how good it was. But this is a movie that, like, I watch and I
actually love.
I love it. Like, it, even with my short attention span brain, it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Anyway, that is our non-spoiler thoughts, and now we're going to kind of get into the spoilers with our positives and negatives. So, should we start with the negatives or positives?
I don't have any negatives.
I have nitpicks for negatives.
Yeah,
I don't
really
have like
negatives.
actual like full on stuff that I hate. Should we just get the negatives out of the way?
Yeah,
this is like a fully kind of positive
well,
review. I'll get the negatives out of
my
the way.
My negatives are sometimes the zombie makeup is like just kind of funny when they're just wearing grey. Sometimes just the grey on their face is like, that's just a guy walking around. That's really it.
Yeah, connecting to that, I would say there's moments where it can be pretty goofy, like the zombies.
I love it though.
No, here's the thing. There's like a difference for me, I feel like, with goofy and like intentional comedy that's throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't. This is nitpicks I have. Like, I literally have 3 small points.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, it's a bit goofy. And I'll say my other point. I don't know why. Maybe because it was the second time I was watching it and I was really tired. But I felt like, oh, some bits was maybe I could tell it's the extended cut. Like I could tell.
For me, first time watching it, I didn't give a shit. I'm happy I got more of this movie.
I know I love it, but like I realized
I could tell that
I was like,
extended.
this is an extended cut. But that's not nothing against the movie because we were watching the extended cut, which is like 12 minutes more. But I was like, yeah, it was good. And I guess the last negative, if it's any negative, is that sometimes the fly guy, he doesn't seem like he cares about his girl too much.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like their chemistry.
I forgot about that. Sometimes like Steven is just like, oh, you want to vote? Oh, you want to like have opinions and you want to have a gun? You want to learn to fly? God, get out of here! But then eventually teaches how to fly.
But I'm just gonna like
to Frankie.
Franny? No, the character's name
in the movie
is
they
Francine.
In the movie, he calls him like Franny.
Well, that's probably just their play names.
I know, but it's just like Franny.
But it's Francine according to Google.com. Slash
Dawn of
the Dead 1978. But yeah, I mean, I don't have proper really negatives with the film. It's just like small...
There probably are negatives that I
don't know.
Just didn't find. I just thoroughly just enjoyed what I was saying.
I feel like I would.
Sometimes the effects were like noticeable, but I don't care.
Yeah, I feel like the only negatives I would be able to put against it is if I was comparing it like with Wheelie, maybe Better Maids, zombie flicks, and going, oh, that stuff had logic. Well, Dawn of the Dead sometimes doesn't have logic, but at the same time, it doesn't matter.
This movie
it's fine.
It's one of the most unique movies. It's like it sets up as this graphic, horrible, like apocalypse movie, They just turns into like mall rats where they're just like in the
Mm.
shopping center just having fun, just like, and the zombies are kind of just a side thought. That's what I really love about this movie is that it's not really a zombie movie in the middle of it. It's just these guys surviving the apocalypse, and it could be any apocalypse. Could be like could be anything, a disease of like any sorts, but it's just zombies. But just these guys just living their lives in this shopping center.
Yeah, it's a very character focused
Very
movie.
character focused, and the characters are fucking brilliant.
All right, we'll go to our positives now. Yeah, one of my
Yeah.
positives definitely was that the characters were great. I loved them all.
Chemistry with all the characters.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
fantastic.
chemistry is fantastic. Like, my favorite character is probably Peter, and
Oh, yeah.
and I just loved how he kind of took that kind of leadership and caring role, and his chemistry with everyone was great. I thought the chemistry. I really feel like Peter was the one connecting all the chemistry together, because I feel like Francine and Steven were just having a little bit of a marriage. They weren't married, were they?
No.
Oh damn.
She rejected his marriage proposal.
Oh yeah, but that's another thing we'll get to, because I have something to say about that. But
I have opinions on that.
no, it's like a positive opinion. But don't take him. No,
Don't take him. He's a bitch.
No, but the characters were great, and they had like great banter, and the chemistry was
Yeah,
fantastic.
I loved like when Steven was trying to shoot the guy attacking Peter.
Peter.
Yeah, attacking Peter. Right? Peter's the,
Is this in the scene where they like had to
Yeah.
like fill up the helicopter?
yeah, and then attacking Peter, but he just like couldn't shoot shit. And then Peter throughout the film was just like saying like, I'm not, the zombies weren't the one trying to kill me, it was you.
As long as there are not too many of those things around, we can handle music.
It wasn't one of those things that nearly blew me away.
We gotta stay in the sticks.
Yeah.
And just like constant like Roger putting his gun in front of Steven just
Yeah.
to shoot for him.
That was
It's
funny.
so good.
And that kind of also connects with another thing I love about it was the comedy. Like, was
Yeah, it's actually
really worked.
funny.
Like, there's these moments that I'm like surprised, like, oh wow, they actually put some like really funny moments in
Yeah.
it. Like,
Like,
that
them
motif of him
asking-
with the gun.
Oh, they're asking for cigarettes.
See-
they run into people when they're trying to run away. It's like, hey, do you have any cigarettes? It's like, no, we don't have any cigarettes. And they start, and
Yeah.
then when they leave,
one of
they
the
pull out
hooligan,
their
one of the
cigarettes.
hooligan guys.
Like, what even is a cigarette? I don't know, but I want one.
You got any cigarettes?
Any of you guys got cigarettes?
But like, there's moments when they're like stealing money and they take a photo with the
Yeah.
like the CCTV camera, and there's like all these just funny moments that really alleviate what would be kind of a depressing film.
Yeah, it was not what I expected.
Yeah, like it was because it was kind of
'Cause
goofy
it's like-
and fun, and
It's like what I really love about like funny sitcoms is like they're funny, but when they're deep, they can get deep because we're used to the funny bits. But when it gets sad and emotional, you really feel it because you're so used to everything being so funny and so light. But then as soon as it gets dark, you're like, oh shit, I'm feeling this because it's such a juxtaposition of what the other scenes were.
yeah. And another positive I would say is that it had very interesting, I would say, great kind of commentary on different kind of like issues, like kind of political
Yeah.
issues. Like one of them was kind of I think the big overarching message or comment was kind of on capitalism and kind of its like slow decline during the
Yeah.
apocalypse. For example, like the idea that private property is still a thing during the apocalypse, and how that started not to work, and how like towards the end, like they had this kind of message about how material wealth doesn't make you happy. Like
Yeah.
how they're all like stuck in they're stuck in the mall, and they're throughout getting all these like items, and you can see that like Stephen like picked out a bunch of wins to give to what's her name, Francine, and there's all this stuff with them just like wearing clothes and being stuck in that, and
Material
they're
goods.
doing all these like stuff for material goods. They're constantly eating.
that like
they're
we
constantly,
would assume would be really fun.
yeah, and
And
then
we'd be like, hell
but-
yeah. But then just they're stuck with it. It's their only
yeah,
entertainment.
the only thing is all this like material stuff that they by the end like no contact with anyone else is starting
Yeah.
to make them go crazy.
It's pretty much just like really, really relevant for today. 'Cause
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah, I guess so. I
Yeah.
guess so. And another comment I would say, and I don't know if this was a huge comment, but it's kind of comment on like how the apocalypse is like allowing you're gonna think I'm stupid, and I'm not trying to be like far left or whatever. But the apocalypse has like allowed people to be racist, like how how for example
sure.
like it's allowed them to get their inner evils out.
Yeah, they're
for,
just
like,
like
for example in that like
opening scene.
the opening scene in the Wade, because all this like ballistic crap is going out. This
just
guy's allowed to
using an
shoot
excuse
down
to
all
shoot
these minorities.
as many minorities as you can, which is so awful. But it's like he has a reason to now, which
Well,
sucks.
he doesn't have a proper reason, but
Well,
I
like,
get what you're saying.
in his
like,
head,
yeah, in his
he
head,
has
he's
a
like,
reason.
oh, we can do it.
And
He can
he's
shoot
saying
down anyone he
slurs
wants,
and all
and
that
he's been
stuff,
talking
and
about
it's
how
so
like
disgusting.
he's been talking about how like why are all these minorities being staying like for free in these kind of accommodations, and he's just going crazy. And then this whole thing about like, I don't know if this was a big kind of link to that idea, but when they were in the helicopter and they're talking about how like, oh, the rednecks are gonna love this or whatever like that. And I think I think it's that also kind of has
but that was also very funny when they're just all the rednecks just taking photos and having barbecues and they're all just like shooting the zombies in the distance, like shit, I missed, and then that's so funny.
Yeah, but I think it just has a cool comment on how like our inner
it's
evils
like,
can be brought out during the apocalypse.
It commented on everything, but it never felt like it was forced. It was just like, this is what would happen.
Yeah, I mean they were commenting on everything.
They were commenting on everything,
like racism and
sexism,
capitalism and abortion.
Yeah.
Like they did the
If
whole.
you want an abortion, I can do it. I was just like, oh wow, this guy knows how to do it.
Damn, but it's I mean they were commenting on these like dark issues that we wouldn't dare to really talk about. No, not dare. I mean it's kind of talked about a lot in the movie industry. But
like in
but
this
how
kind
it's
of way,
all it's
it feels so like
it's done in a way that's not like they don't seem to have like a full on
opinion on
and they're trying to like shove in your face like this is right and this is wrong.
Yeah, it's just like this is what they're talking about. This is their experience with it. This is what's happening in this scene. This is just what agendas is talking about, but it's not saying we're talking about agenda right now. We're talking about just what would come up.
Yeah. So it's but they had great commentary and some stuff. Do you have anything else you want to say, or?
I have a whole bunch I want to say
Yeah,
about
go.
this movie
Go
because
about
I wrote like down a list like during the movie, like each point was just like I just want to talk about. I think even the sluggish and the slow moving goofy zombies almost made it like just scarier because they're just so silent, and they're just the mindlessness of these zombies and how just purely animalistic they are, or just purely human they are, and just like they remember their past, kind of. They remember some memories, and they're not just like running at you to be scary. These zombies are slow and maniacal, and it's so much more sinister when they're just in the basement and they're just strapped into like bags and they're just wiggling around and they're just eating just bones and human flesh. And they don't even care about the guy in the room. They're just so distracted by eating these people. It's just so disgusting and disturbing. Honestly, that's probably the most disturbed I've been in a movie.
Really?
Maybe, no. Sinister maybe a bit more. But this just, the visual of these zombies just munching on these people, and these people just looking at them in such disgust, and just one by one shooting them and killing them and putting them out of their misery. So disgusting. And I was just like, this is disturbing, and I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite openings of all time. Just that whole opening of the news station and the opening of the apartment building. Just purely fucking amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and connecting to that, I guess another positive I'm just gonna say straight about is that the gore was really good. Like, like I was thinking for the time it was great, but like it's just really good.
Yeah.
Like
it made me go ow, because usually like if it's hyper realistic, like in newer zombie movies where it's like really expansive gore, where it's like everything's exploding all over the place, that doesn't really get me because it's like, oh, that doesn't look like.
Yeah.
It looks too far-fetched for me to understand. But just the little just bites, and then just like them holding just bones and eating it. It's just the way it was so casual that these zombies were doing it. It wasn't like they were like munching really fast and being all like wild wolves. They were just like, they felt like just stray dogs just slowly munching on some food in the garden, and it makes it even more sinister that they don't even care about you. They're just so focused on eating this food. It's almost more sinister, and like It just creeps me out.
And I think that kind of version of zombie kind of really connected to that kind of theme of like, I don't know if it connect. Like I think connected kind of to capitalism, how they're talking about like, oh, they just want to go to the mall and they're connected to it, and this is where they're and
they
this
just
is where
used
they're
to, they just used to go into a place.
Yeah, and they're going all around, and it just maybe that says something about like how we all kind of zombies when we go to
Yeah, that's a
like
that's a
that.
point that I had down here.
Mm-hmm.
It's when the characters are after. I think we have to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Roger.
Roger.
Yeah, he gets bit.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. I mean,
Yeah,
he kind of had it coming, but poor guy.
Poor guy. This movie just had such a good way of connecting us to the characters when like they had a plan, they were smart, they'd go through certain shopping centers and like distract the zombies and go up and down, but some things would go wrong. It felt like they had a deliberate plan. It felt like I don't know, I feel like other movies would like make those scenes more like the characters had no idea what they were doing and the plans would fuck up. But these plans were like done well. They were smart and tactical, and then they had fun. But then like as soon as it does go wrong, it feels more special that it went wrong because they went so right all these other times that when Roger gets bit, it's like you thought they were invincible. The characters thought they were invincible. They were like, oh, these zombies, who cares? They're not going to get us.
Yeah.
But he gets bit and then gets bit again.
Yeah.
And he got too distracted and he gets so gung-ho on killing these zombies that he just thinks he's invincible.
Yeah.
Peter has to calm him down.
Yeah, and it's sad though because like because of how great the chemistry is between the characters, you really feel for when like Roger was killed, and you really feel like because Peter was really trying to make sure that Roger stays sane. He's like, you can't do what you're doing. You can't be saying gun ho. You're gonna kill us all. But you can really see that it's the whole being stuck in a mole is taking a toll on him, and it's sadder because instead of just going like, oh, he's bit, he's dead. They have this whole thing about like how he's still trying to take part even when he's been bit, and him being wheeled around
funny.
and him being wheeled
just
around
in
in
a
a
gun,
wheelbarrow.
just holding a gun. With just
And because
like,
of that, you find him like
so
you find
charming.
that funny, and you find that kind of sad as well. How he's still trying to be part of it, and he doesn't. And you can see the heartache it's giving people like Peter.
Yeah.
And if they would have just killed him like that, I probably wouldn't have felt anything. But the fact that he's still trying to take part and he's still trying to hold on to his humanity, although he knows
like
he
when,
can't.
and when he's like telling Peter like where are you, Peter? And he's like, I'm here. And he's like a sick person with like dementia or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so much more sad and more realistic. And how he's just like, I don't want to turn to one of those things. I'm going to try my best not to. I'm going to really try. And then when he eventually does, it's even more sad. Also creepy. That was creepy shot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And another thing I got to say.
The effects on the main characters when they turned into zombies were like great.
Yeah. But also connecting to you saying that was a creepy shot. Yeah, I would say there's a lots of suspenseful shots and great directing. Like they really kind of utilize that kind of like not close up, but that kind of like mid, where they're like where they're the center of the frame and they've got the gun down the barrel of the camera, and they have all these like really cool, kind of suspenseful kind of shots with the zombies, and it's cool. I think the directing was serviceable. It wasn't a film that was made just for like to make like an experimental beautiful looking film, but the directing served its purpose, and it was also some shots were actually really genuinely good, and I think good directing on that part, and some of the
directing of the acting as well.
Some of the stunts were really good. Like I had someone pointing to like Lloyd saying that guy like swung by kind of not a rope, but kind of like a banner,
flag
like
thing,
a flag banner, and then came in and hit a zombie. I thought that was cool. That wasn't the best directing ever, but I'm just saying.
It was just a cool zombie.
But the directing was good, and there was actually some pretty suspenseful shots for the time.
Yeah. I want to talk about the capitalism part of this because we all love capitalism.
Go for it.
It's like when they're stuck in, like I wrote this paragraph while watching the movie. It's the characters have become cynical and bored of just being trapped in one place, knowing they can't leave and they just lost someone. Days on end are relatable to COVID. Lonely lives they live, being their only company, running out of things to do and fun things, getting tired and hopeless, relying on material goods to make them feel better because the people are getting on their nerves. The makeup of the people have almost become grayish. Like I noticed on Francine, she looked more gray throughout the movie.
I guess she was getting more sick because she's pregnant, but I know what you
I
mean.
know, but like she looked like visibly more grey, like zombie-ish and sluggish, and like to every character because the lives they live are sluggish and slow, boring, trapped, getting tired and frustrated with each other. Like like it was no longer they're getting frustrated with the zombies; they're frustrated with each other.
Yeah.
Like turning on the TV and turning it off, trying to get a signal.
Yeah.
And like the human side of the zombie apocalypse, like small things becoming big things and frustrations. But then as soon as as soon as Francine goes, "What have we become?" They go outside, start teaching each other about how to fly a helicopter. They start doing more activities together and less being on their own.
Yeah.
It just becomes this own finding places to explore their feelings, and I almost found that really beautiful. Like that whole scene with them being zombies in this mall and then just living their lives as casual, like over a few months and like living inside. And then like, they're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And they just start planning to leave. Not planning to leave, but like, they just like, they don't want to live here anymore. This was what they were scared of. And it came true. And it was no longer a zombie movie. It was just about isolation.
Yeah. You really felt, when time was passing by throughout the film.
Yeah.
And it's great because it kind of utilized all these kind of motifs of like over time, their kind of main base, becomes more different. For example, like Peter starts, painting it brown, and there's, more kind of like furniture within it over time. But as that happens, you can tell they get more and more kind
cynical
of
and bored.
cynical and frustrated with each other. And I wouldn't blame them.
No, I would not blame them. And like how Francine doesn't want to get married.
Yeah.
You wanted to say something about that, didn't you?
Oh no, saying that was like showing, you know, how kind of like, not how time's passing by, but like how they're becoming more cynical with each other and how
like this is not a place where you want to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like this movie just really felt like just a fun trip with these characters. It didn't felt like the zombies were like a cause for a problem and not the main plot. It wasn't like how Zombieland is like zombies are everywhere because it's Zombieland, or Shaun of the Dead. Even though I love that movie, it's like mainly about the zombies that are coming out, but there's still some plot in between with like well, like I guess Shaun of the Dead less so, but it's like because it's mainly about the characters. But like I feel like zombies are even more of a focus in that movie, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but I just like this take on it, where it's how it's mainly just people, just inside.
Okay.
Because
I won't argue with the Shaun of the Dead thing, although I would say I think it does.
Oh no, it does definitely. But like they go out more to fight the zombies, and they're going through more zombie scenarios.
I guess.
Well, this movie it felt like just the exact same scenario: zombies in the mall. Oh,
yeah,
just get past.
I know what you're saying.
Just get past them and then done. It wasn't a big deal that the zombies were there until it became a big deal.
Let's think. What's a more positive?
I love how the news sets. They're like at the beginning they look kind of professional, but then it just became like a Q&A where it's just like everyone getting their opinion and the audience in the background was shouting. It became like handheld news throughout the movie. Every time they got a new signal, it just literally just felt like a mockumentary or a documentary. And like how it's like it's no longer a set anymore. It's just like wooden boards behind them. They're sitting on crates, nothing professional, and they're just getting cynical with each other. They're getting annoyed.
Yeah, the guy was calling them idiots.
Yeah, everyone's opinion is wrong except for your own. It really felt like just trapped in showing humanity. And this guy's just going like, we have to stay rational. And he's like trying to calm everyone down, even though he's being irrational as well, and he's being hypocritical.
Yeah,
it's like differing opinions. It's like watching a Q&A on the news. Didn't really feel like a news broadcast anymore. It felt like a debate.
Yeah, and you can really see that as it was really cool as the characters became more cynical and more mad at each other. So did the world, and so did everything kind of become kind of crazy. Another positive I have, and this one's kind of just a background positive, is that I love the soundtrack. The soundtrack's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The main Dawn of the Dead theme is what is great about it, and there's some good kind of like instrumental bits throughout, which I think sound fantastic.
Yeah.
But soundtrack is good. The theme is great. I think the theme is just really good. The soundtrack was alright, but the theme was really good.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
and
not as good as the Suspiria soundtrack. But it's a good theme, but the soundtrack is superior.
Sure, yeah. I don't have too many other different kind of positive
Yeah.
points that I have. I kind of said my positive spiel. Do you have anything left?
Yeah. I'm just like, I just wrote things about, there's something about the zombies being quiet and slow, moving without meaning, and just slow eating human flesh. Like in the basement was disturbing, harder to figure out and understand. Like, what the hell are these? Like, what are they?
Yeah.
Are they people still? Are they like, because like in like Zombieland, they're just ferocious zombies that run after you and they try to kill you. In this movie, they're just wandering around, pushing things over, using tools. Like, how much intelligence do they have? It's like they'd like the zombies rather keep eating their food than get new food. They're like pandas, you know. They're just like, they got their food. They're just gonna chill eating their food, but as soon as they run out, then they'll start looking for food. They just like, they feel like fat lions, and I don't know, just something about just these type of zombies. It's probably the best zombies I've seen in a movie.
Okay.
I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, they definitely weren't for me the scariest, but they probably were.
They weren't the scariest, no.
I
but they
wouldn't.
were
I
just
wouldn't
the
want to
most-
be in Train to Busan. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they weren't the scariest zombies by the fact that they weren't always like being scary. They were just, for me, the most disturbing. And like, if I looked at zombies in any other movie, I'm just scared because they're running at me. They're running at the characters. They're threatening. But this movie, like, if I saw these zombies in the distance, I'd be like, just what the fuck?
Sure.
If I saw Shaun of the Dead zombies, Walking Dead zombies, I'd be like, oh fuck, zombies are coming, and that's scary. But in this movie, I would be less scared of them, but I'd just be more interested and more like, what the fuck are these things? These things are like, these things aren't exactly zombies. They seem more intelligent, and like, what are they? Are they decaying? Like, what? It just feels so much more interesting. These type of zombies, not upfront scary, but just slow, disturbing, and slow and maniacal and sinister of these zombies, and it's just loved it.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's time that we come to the bit of the review where we give it our rating.
Yeah.
Just to let everyone know, our ratings, and we're not going to go too into it because we've said it in other episodes, but we have Shit Show, which is bottom of the barrel. It's crap, horrible, one of the worst things we've ever seen. Don't watch it. It's just a waste of our time. Ball Snore, Get Out the Door. It's just boring. It's just like not
These
worth
aren't really
it.
in like order. It's just like things we give things.
Yeah. So like Ball Snore, Get Out the Door is just kind of like, yeah. Like,
Boring.
all right, I'll watch it.
No.
Never going to see it again. Not worth the time. It's just, yeah, whatever. Then we have Disappointment. Disappointment is just like, it may have had some good elements in it, and maybe we were looking forward to it, and it just really let us down.
It's being disappointed.
Like it might have, yeah, so there might be some bits that like, it's okay, it's all right, but on the same time, it's just like, oh, damn, this could have been a good film, but it isn't. And it's just like, what the hell? And normally we don't find it as fun as the next one, which is Hey, It's Fun. And Hey, It's Fun. It's just like, it may not be a great movie, but you know, we
enjoyed it.
We had a lot of fun with it. It was, you know, enjoyable. It might have just been a decent movie. It's just, hey, it's fun. Doesn't say too much, but you know what? It's good. It's fun. Then we have Fantastically Splendid. We give this to movies that we generally enjoyed. Thought it was a great movie. We thought it was really good. There might be some small nitpicks into it, but like the good very outweighs the bad, and it's a film that we think is generally good, worth the time. Go and watch it. And we feel that sometimes hey, it's fun, but like Fantastically Splendid is just like a really good film, worth your time. And then the last one we have kind of masterpiece / classic, which this is a film that we, you know, love so much. We think is fantastic. It's really one of the great ones. You know,
it might even just be like movies that we don't personally love, but we have to give classics because they are just horror classics.
I mean, sometimes. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
sometimes.
I think it's good that like we
give our own
should give our own opinions. But these are movies that like we know why they're classics, we know why they're masterpieces, and I think from we do want to try to say that we do like these films because I don't want to give classic to a film that I generally don't enjoy. But normally like even if we don't enjoy these films, we still what we mean is like we still enjoy these films.
them.
We may not think these are the greatest things ever, but you know what? It's still good and still worth the masterpiece that's been given. But yeah, so classic and masterpiece. And yeah, this can be for new films as well. For Dawn of the Dead, what are we going to give this one? Classic. Masterpiece. Classic.
This is our first ever one, right?
I think we might have done it before. I can't remember. I don't
What
remember.
movies we haven't done any movies that are classic.
Escape Room. We gave it a classic.
No, we did not.
No, I can't remember. What have we review that I saw. Did we review Friday the 13th? We didn't give that one a classic.
No.
I'm trying to.
God, no. We give that a hate. I give it a hate phone.
I don't remember. Okay, we probably have given a classic before. I just
think
don't
so.
remember. But I think
If this is the first classic,
we're gonna
it's
assume
worth
this is
it.
our first one. If
worth
it's
it.
not, let us know, if you can. But yeah, and
This is a classic in the sense that it is a classic.
It is a classic.
masterpiece.
Yeah,
It's not that like, we respect it. This is like,
yeah,
I understand.
It's been a classic for a while, and we totally understand why. And it's definitely worth your time. It's probably my favorite zombie movie.
Probably.
It's in probably my top 10 horror movies. What about you, Louis? You like it?
I fucking love it, bro.
You love it?
I
Yeah.
love the movie. So
Yeah.
good. I was like, the journey to watch this movie took so long.
Oh yeah, we should talk about that really quickly.
The setup of the Blu-ray wasn't working.
Oh, yeah,
we couldn't find the remote, so we tried
so-
during the PS4, but the DVD region was incorrect. So I had to bring a PC in here,
yeah. So yeah. So
and
like,
that PC didn't work. So
yeah. So yeah, we brought in a DVD. We tried putting in the Blu-ray player, that didn't work. Then we tried to put it into a PS4, that didn't work. Then we tried to put it in a PC, that didn't work. And
Because
then we
the
tried
PC
doing
didn't work.
another PC,
and
that didn't work. Then we go back to the other PC because we realized, that could work. And then when we tried to put it in, we had no DVD player for it, so we had to watch it over a thing called Uniconverter, which only made it in like different like chapters of it. And then we tried to watch the chapters, but
it's just the frame rate.
the frame
was so
rate
bad.
was bad, and the computer went down. Like the
computer kept
so
turning
that's why
off.
we couldn't do it. And then we just like, screw it, let's just find a YouTube version.
Yeah.
And then we ended up watching an extended cut on YouTube. So it took us a long while to do it, and we would have done that review directly right after watching the movie, but because it was
But
so
it
late at
ended at
night,
12, and
yeah,
we're
we were
like,
just
"Oh, I'm
like,
tired."
let's not. But anyway, that's the movie. We think it's a masterpiece. You got to go and watch it out. And now we come to our trivia section. And our trivia section is where we ask you a question. And I also have to answer the question that we gave you last week. So the answer for last week is, I think I asked you, which real-life serial killer was the inspiration for Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1978. And I think it's been renowned that the real-life inspiration was a murderer named Ed Gein, who predominantly took several victims between 1954 and 1957. And there was lots of similarities between Ed Gein and Leatherface. Like he kind of his home kind of looks quite similar to the home that's depicted in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Although obviously I mean the images that I'm looking at is set during snow, so it's I can't really fully see it. But yeah, the house itself actually looks like it. And apparently he did, according to my source, he did wear kind of human scalps and faces, and he, like Leatherface, cross-dressed and stuff like that. And I won't get too into some stuff because he has done some pretty dark things and some stuff that I don't think would be appropriate to talk about on this podcast. But yeah, he's done. I know it's a horror podcast, but like,
yeah, I know
he's done some really despicable things and despicable things to women that I just don't want to talk about. But if you want to search him up, Ed Gein, you can learn more about him. But he didn't use a chainsaw, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's one of the most known serial killers.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
in the early century.
But yeah, he didn't use a chainsaw, but he definitely was very, very messed up. Anyway, that's that. But now we have to ask you the question for this week. And this question is going to be, because Dawn of the Dead related. And the question is, and this may be an easy one for just fans of horror, but you know what? I'm going to say it anyway. Which of these film titles is not a George Romero sequel to, the Dawn of the Dead films, the, Night of the Living Dead films, whatever? Which of these is not a name of a sequel? So it's a multiple choice. We'll give you some options. So is it either A, Land of the Dead, B, Diary of the Dead, C, Planet of the Dead, or D, Survival of the Dead? So which of these is not a sequel in the Romero zombie films?
This time, I know the answer.
Yeah, Louis knows the answer. He's not going to say it. He'll never tell.
I'll never tell.
But, yeah, so answer that question, and you will. Don't search it up. Try to guess. I mean, you can search. I don't know.
Guess, then search it up.
Yeah, guess. Yeah. Wait a week for this. Be anticipated, and we'll tell you the answer. But yeah, so that's the question, and yeah, just comment on whatever platform you're allowed to comment, which this podcast has been shown.
Also, what's your opinion on this film?
Yeah, what is your opinion on this film?
If it's not good, we'll delete it.
No. But yeah, what is your opinion? Did you love it as much as we did? Do you think it's a classic? Do you think it's not a classic? Do you think it's
it's not deserving?
Yeah, it's not deserving. Do you think it's too political, too woke? No, okay, no, but
it talks about capitalism. Oh my god.
No, but by all means, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, that's it for me.
That's it for me.
That's it. All right, goodbye.
That was the Horror Herald.
All right,
see you next week.
peace.